this video, we focus on animal and plant cells. By the end of this video, we need to understand the main parts of animal cells and the main parts of plant cells. We also need to understand the similarities and the differences between plant and animal cells. Now let's look at animal cells first. This is a picture taken under the light microscope. This is an animal cell. You can see here, these dark dots here, that's nucleus. See here, that's nucleus. And then you have these jelly parts here, and that is cytoplasm, jelly parts, cytoplasm. And then you have outside, you have this layer, that is cell membrane, cell membrane. Now inside you, of course, you have lots of dots here, that's mitochondria. And you also have ribosomes. The nucleus is the brain of the cell. It controls all the activity of cells because it contains the genetic materials called chromosomes. And that gives you the instruction for making proteins. So it's very important. Next thing is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like material, see, it's a liquid gel. Now, inside the cytoplasm, you have a lot of organelles and tiny bits. So that's where the chemical reaction takes place. A lot of chemical reactions takes place in cytoplasm. Cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane. It controls what goes in and what goes out of the cell. So it allows some particles go in and out, but it stops some other particles goes in and out of the cell. So it says here it controls the movement of substances such as urea or hormones out of the cell. You see. Next one is mitochondria. Mitochondria also you found in the cytoplasm. Now, it is where the respiration takes place. It provides you with energy, mitochondria. So aerobic respiration is taking place here. Ribosomes is where the protein is made. So the protein synthesis takes place here. So that's the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main parts of the animal cell. Now let's look at the plant cell. Plant cell has usually got a rigid shape. Now because it has cell wall here, so it got a very rigid shape on the outside. And next to this rigid shape, you have this thin layer of cell membrane. So that's the cell membrane. And then you also have these jelly parts, that's cytoplasm, jelly parts, cytoplasm in here. Okay, and then you have all those tiny bits of mitochondria where the respiration takes place, provide the cell with energy to grow. Now, nucleus, again, genetic information, is contained in here, chromosomes, so that's give you the instruction for the activity of the cell. Now, plant cell also have these green ones. You can see all those green dots here. That's called chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are the organelles that make food, which means the photosynthesis is taking place in those tiny organelles, so they can make their own food. They can trap the sunlight and turn the light energy into chemical energy. And even furthermore, they have the big vacuole, and that is a permanent vacuole. So that's where all the liquid juice contained in here. You see, it's a cell sap in here. Okay, to summarize, see, apart from the nucleus, cell membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm, yeah, and ribosome, mitochondria. Apart from this, they will share between plant and animal cells. The plant cell also got chloroplasts. Photosynthesis takes place here. And it got a permanent vacuole, the cell sap. That's a cell sap. Okay, lots of juice in there. And also they have a cell wall. So those three are the structures you can only find in the plant cell. This picture here is a algae plant cell. You see they have a rigid shape, yeah, that is taken under the microscope. And all these green bits here, that's the chloroplasts. And they contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green pigment, and that is able to absorb the sunlight and turn the sunlight into chemical energy stored as food. So we call it the make food. And that process is called photosynthesis. Okay, so it takes place in chloroplasts. Now, cell wall, the reason it is rigid and strong is because cell walls are made of material called cellulose. And that is a very strong, tough carbohydrates that can strengthen the cell and give it the support. Okay, so that is the structure and the function of the plant and animal cells. Now, let's do a quick exercise. Here, let's say this is a typical plant cell. Now, let's draw lines to match up which is which. Okay, now first one is this rigid part layer here. So that is cell wall. Okay, very rigid, give you a shape. And then just underneath this strong cell wall, you see this line here, this black line here, and that represents cell memory. So that controls what goes in and what goes out of the cell. And then you see this big sap here. That is called vacuole. So that contains all the cell sap. The reason the plant cells, see apple for instance, take juicy, is the juice in here, vacuole. That, of course, is a nucleus. Contains the genetic information, and that controls the instruct the cell, the activity of the cell. And here, this thing here, that's the cytoplasm. The chemical reaction takes place here. That is chloroplasts, where the photosynthesis takes place. So this G is ribosome, and that's where the protein is produced. And this thing here is mitochondria. Mitochondria is that one here. It's a plant cell. You are required to label each part. So let's give a go. And this one here, that one, this one is cell memory. Okay, so that's cell memory. Okay, that's cell memory. And then you have this thing here, that's nucleus. That's nucleus. nucleus. Okay. Okay, next one. And here is the chromosomes. Chromosomes. So it's not easy. Chromosomes. Chromosomes. Okay. Next one. Next one here. That's cytoplasm. 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 All right. And that one here is mitochondria. Mitochondria, because it's more than one. See, you got three here, so I have to have a plural. Mitochondria. Mitochondria. So that's the thing. Plural. Okay, that's how you label each part. Link the cell parts with its jobs. So here you got the cell parts. Here are the jobs. Now let's link them up. First one says here, a jelly-like material that contains dissolved nutrients and salts and structures called organelles. It is where many of the chemical reaction happens. Now this has to be cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like material, and there are lots of chemical reactions takes place here. So that's this. Next one says, it contains genetic material including DNA, which controls the cell activity. That has to be nucleus. Nucleus contains genetic materials. It controls the activity of the cell. It is a brain of the cell. So that's that. Next one. Its structure is permeable to some substances, but not to others. Means this is a controlled system. It allows some substance go in and out of the cell, but not the other. It therefore controls the movement of substances in and out of cell. So that has to be cell memory. Cell memory has this job. It controls what goes in and what goes out of the cell. So it's very selective. So we call it semi-permeable memory. Next one. It says here, organelles that contain the enzyme for respiration. As soon as you see these words, respiration, and where most of the energy is released in respiration, you know that is mitochondria. Mitochondria is where respiration is taking place. Respiration is a biochemical reaction and release energy. Next one, filled with cell sap to help keep the cell turgid, and that has to be vacuole. So that is keep the cell the strong, a rigid shape. Next one, a tiny organelle where protein synthesis occurs. That be ribosome. Ribosome is a very tiny organelle. That is where the protein is made. Cell wall, and the chloroplast, let's look at, made from cellulose fiber and strengthen the cell and support the plant is cell wall. Yeah, cell wall is a very tough material. It is made of cellulose fiber. It's only provide the cell with that strength. It support the cell. Last one, it has to be this one, right? So the chloroplasts are organelles that contains green pigment called chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll is able to absorb light energy for photosynthesis. It contains lots of enzymes needed for photosynthesis to take place. So that is a job for each part. My name is June. I am a qualified teacher of science in England and I am a published author. My book is available on Jingdong, and it makes good gift. If you would like to support my work, please subscribe and hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I see you again soon.